Hi everybody, Justine Froelker here, author, speaker, and certified Dare to Lead Facilitator. And I have been attempting to write this blog post all week and the words are not coming out of my fingers. So I'm going to attempt to do a short video about it, but I can be really, really wordy. So it might have to be a series, especially depending on what the feedback I get from some of you are on it. So I'm getting so triggered by some of the messages, the simplistic messages that are often being pushed in the personal development world or personal growth world. The messages like, just do it, a shame-free plan to be who you were meant to be, that only you can change your life. More on that later. Rely on yourself. Just do it. Growth mindset. Just change your thinking. It's a problem of limited thinking, limited beliefs. And I love personal development. I mean, my library, you can check my resource list on my website. I have half Christian books and half all of these like personal development, personal growth, biohackers. Like, I love the researchers. I am a seeker. Vishen Lakhiani, Dave Asprey, Mel Robbins. I love all their stuff. And of course, my beloved Brené Brown. Here's the deal. For years, 20 years, I've been in traditional mental health, talking to people about how they feel. I was always a very action-oriented therapist. My clients never left my office without a Post-it note, usually, of things to do, to try, a checklist to practice every day, especially in their self-care. Because as I often said and write in my writings, like, a lot of times your struggles can be helped so much by simply learning how to sleep better, because most of us aren't getting enough sleep, and the sleep that we are getting sucks. And so we're tired all of the time dealing with this messy life and complicated people. And so I would work with people on improving their nighttime routine to get better sleep, to then therefore add a morning routine, because you can do all the actions you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I love it. I love it because your brain is totally wired to stay comfortable. It's wired to screw you over basically every day. It really, really is. Our words, most of us were not taught the words of how to speak to ourselves and how powerful those words can be. Most of us were not we didn't grow up in homes where people were taking care of themselves and keeping disciplined morning and nighttime routines and taking good self-care. They were just giving and taking care of everybody else until they were sick and tired or angry and bitter and resentful. We don't know what we're doing. And yet all you have to do is Google self-care and there's 100 lists. You just have to go on Amazon and look up personal development. And there's tons of best-selling books, big gurus making lots and lots of money. And that stuff works. It works. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You must change something in your daily life to make real, true, sustainable change happen. And you cannot just keep plowing through your feelings, stuffing them down into a black hole that doesn't exist in your soul, and changing your thinking. You actually have to do both. You must address thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. As we call it in the work, it's a three-legged stool. To be integrated, you understand and rumble and cope with and rewrite all of them and make changes in all the areas of your life. You cannot simply think your way through all of your feelings. You are a feeling person, but your feelings get first crack. Then we want to ask ourselves, what's the story we're making up? What's the story I'm making up? That's where we change our thinking. It's both and. You don't have to fix yourself. What if you need to learn how to love yourself and accept yourself and learn how to make your strengths not be your weaknesses? And most of all, make your weaknesses work for you and not against you. Make all of those traumas, losses, and tragedies work for you and not against you. And shaming yourself into change, damning yourself every day that you don't make a different choice, will not make lasting, sustainable change. There is no such thing as a shame-free plan. to be all who you were made to be. Because if you're shame-free, you probably meet criteria for sociopathology. You have to read my next book on my opinion on where shame falls when we have Christ in our lives. You have feelings. You are a human being. Then you have thoughts about the feelings, and then you have thoughts about the thoughts. And where our happiness lies, and where this wholehearted, sacred truth of a life lives, to live who we were created to be, is oftentimes in the language that we use, in self-love and the action of self-care, until we can actually love ourselves, because we weren't probably taught how to. Acceptance, forgiveness, rumbling with grief and forgiveness and anxiety, understanding how shame rumbles up in our lives. Yes, feel the fear and do it anyway. There is no such thing as fearless, afraid and brave in every moment. Learn how shame comes up for you. There's not a shame-free plan. Yes, address your limited thinking. Work for a growth mindset. Change the way you speak to yourself. Change your daily habits. Just do it. And name your feelings. Identify them correctly. Work on developing emotional literacy. Cope with those feelings in a healthy and effective way, and stop offloading them into this world, most especially on the people that you love most. And then you rewrite them, because they're allowed to move through. They are energy. And when you just keep plowing through with just do it, or hustle, or just change your thinking, it's a way that you armor up and hustle for your enoughness, and don't acknowledge how you actually feel, and you were created to feel. It's both. Personal development and deal with the feelings. I think that's why I love Brené's work so much. It's both, and especially when I combine it with what I have learned, both in my faith walk and in my dig out of the deepest, darkest hole of grief of my life thus far. So, I would love to know what you think. It might not be a very popular opinion, but I'm just, I too often find people spending tons of money and lots of time on personal development, and they are still in the same place they were years later, because at the end of the day, they are hustling for their enoughness. When it's all that work and self-acceptance and self-love. I'd love to hear what you think. Comment below. And if you want to join me for one of these trainings, I have a bunch coming up, Dare to Lead. It'll change everything. It's changed everything for me. But I also have a ton of free resources out there. YouTube, free ebook on my website. I share a ton of content on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You can just really easily find me, Justine Froelker, justinefroelker.com. Thanks so much.